This is going to be an audience participation. And yes, you normally do know me as your HR partner for Ideal Workplaces, but I am the librarian today. No glasses, no any of those kinds of things. I did threaten. This is the website for the St. Louis County Library, and St. Louis County Library and the City Library have a reciprocal agreement. So if you have a county library card, you can get one for the city and the county. And if you want to talk to me, if you live in outlying areas, you can also get a card. And I don't know about you, but I come to E4E because, you know, as a business owner, you're supposed to be an expert in so many things. And then now what do I need to do after I leave here? It's like, ooh, anybody else feel like, oh, I gotta do all these things, and oh, I gotta know all this stuff. So the library can help you. I know you can't tell by looking at that slide. That's just 1 week at the headquarters only of all the things that are available to you. But that is just the massive amount of information that you can go to for free and get stuff. Notice anybody that you recognize? Our own Bob Zangus. Yay, Bob. This is a participatory kind of thing. And so I'm hoping that some of you will share some of the things that you take advantage of when you're at the library. And I'm going to call on Bob first to share what happened with him.
Well, it was about 7 months ago. About 7 months ago, I was here talking to one of my favorite people, Karen Hoffman, and I was telling her I was trying to find a list of bank trust officers in the St. Louis area. And she said to me, "Are you trying the library?" And I look at her with this look on my face of, the library? So I went over to headquarters library on Lindbergh, and I talked to somebody there, and they said, "Mr. Zangus, if you come back on Tuesday, we'll have a list for you." And I went back on Tuesday, and they had this nice list of bank trust officers in the St. Louis metro area. And it was really great. I didn't have to spend hours and hours of time figuring out how in God's name am I going to locate this list, and it was done for me. So if you're ever on a project and you need something, take a shot and go over there, because it's a wonderful resource, and I think it can be of great help.
Bob, is there a specific person you go to?
They just pointed me to somebody in the reference area, and they got it done for me.
They actually have business librarians.
Oh, okay.
And one of the things I feel like is Google is their competition. There are business librarians, I think, at every branch. If not, you might check. But their competition is actually Google. And so we want to help them keep their jobs. So we can go to them and have them do some work for us. That saves us a lot of time. Can I also share?
Please.
When I first learned about this, I was blown away that I could reach out for mailing list. I cannot remember the name of the company because it's rebranded for libraries. Reference USA, is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But in libraries, we can have access for free to things that you would pay hundreds to thousands of dollars for, and they're through our local libraries. And if you have a business group too, inviting a business librarian to come and speak, they will tell you all the ways they can help you. There is one, like one time I wanted a list of women business owners. In fact, this might be good for you. We were just talking about that. And they send me the list. I don't even have to go in. You know, I've got a relationship with Trevor Reese at the St. Charles County Library. I email him what I'm looking for, and they email it back.
Karen, real quickly, does that include contact information like phone numbers?
Phone numbers, but not emails generally.
Unless, to your question, you can ask for emails, and you can book a librarian. They'll give you an hour, and you can explain exactly what you'd like to have. So today, I do want to cover like lists, publications, learning a language, subscriptions, ebooks. Richard, you were talking about.
On a lighter note, you can get movies, and they're new releases, and if there's one that's very popular, they'll put you on the list, and then they'll send you an email saying it's there, and there's 7 days to pick it up, and you can get 10 at a time for a week, and then return them. So it's awesome. I got rid of Netflix and all those other things you have to pay for.
Cynthia, you want to share?
So I used to buy a lot of books, and now I go online to the library, request the book, and then a few days later they email me and it's available. I pick it up. Also, I've gotten several technical books from them that they didn't have. There's actually, I think it's in the right-hand column somewhere, there's a place where you can request the library purchase a book. And several times they've actually gotten back to me and said that they have the book. And it turns out that it's, like the other day I got a book from Florida. It was from a college in Florida, has a special label on it, so it's returned. But they have an amazing system. You can get anything.
And if any of you are followers of Brian Tracy, one of the things that he said a long time ago is in your car you can get the education of going to a university. They also have audiobooks. So when I'm in the car, I'm usually listening to something versus being filled with whatever might be filled on the radio.
With those audiobooks?
Uh-huh.
With those audiobooks, do those download to your cell phone or
Wherever you direct it, yes. Anybody else have a library story they'd like to share? Mary?
With magazines, what I've often seen is people have stacks and stacks of them that they're planning on getting around to reading. There's a function on the website called Zinio, and it has dozens of different magazines that you can check out for free. You keep them as long as you want. I mean, you read them online, and then as soon as you're done, you just click an X and they're returned.
Exactly. There's also Factiva. So if you subscribe to Wall Street Journal, the Post-Dispatch, Forbes, Barron's, any of those, you can get those free through the library, which I'll kind of touch on. Anybody else? Is anybody surprised by all the things that are offered at the library? Yes. I was, and every time I go and I learn something, it's like, oh boy, I gotta tell everybody about this. So anyway, now I think it's kind of interesting that Brian's told us not to use boilerplate. So when you download a boilerplate form that's on here, go to Brian and find out if you can use that. But one of the things I did want to talk about are a little bit more in depth. Karen, you had referenced Reference USA. That's one of the databases that you can use and develop a list. And it doesn't matter if you're a B2B or a B2C type of business. You can get as detailed as you want. And on here it doesn't show, but there's like 140 million records that they pull from. So as detailed as you want, they will make it for you when you book the librarian. Or you can do this all online yourself. If you don't like it, just redo it and, ooh, I don't like that, and which I've done. Factiva is the one that I was telling you about for the publications. And I have told candidates for 1.5 million years, oh, if you want to update your computer skills, or if you want to learn a new skill, or any of those kinds of things, you need to subscribe to lynda.com. And I don't know how much lynda.com is a year, but you can do that for free at the library. So if you want to brush up on any of your skills, you have employees that you want to know a new skill. Lori, I know we've talked about with QuickBooks, if new employees come in, you can learn it all. Lynda.com is now owned by LinkedIn, so they want to keep it pretty up to date with all of the most new and popular things. Gale.com is one of the places that, or one of the sites that you can go to learn anything from accounting and finance on. And there are multiple ones. Some of the sites offer classes from universities like Harvard, Yale. And if you want to learn a language, 72 different languages, including American Sign Language. I learned German. I took 4 years of German in high school and then some in college, and now I can tell you how to close the door and ask you what time it is. So I might be able to brush up on my German. And then Les, you were asking about booking a librarian. You just go in and you tell them when you'd like to talk to them, what you'd like to talk to them about. And you can do it actually face-to-face, or you can do it on the phone or through email. And you do, like Karen said, you develop a relationship with somebody. So, now that you know about this resource, be sure and use it. And I know you'll go and make something happen.